Hey, everyone. We should be getting going now. Hopefully, this video is being shared live on YouTube. I hope it is. Should be good to go. We're going to talk about some very important things today. And I want everyone to please share this video all over. Um, what we are going to deal with is the notices that we have been doing nationwide that has brought forth much benefit to the people. Now, the thing is that some people don't understand why we do our notices the way that we do. Some people get frustrated about it. Some people are unhappy because they feel like they could be done better. Some people wish to change the way that the notices are done because they believe they have a better way of doing it. So we're live now. I want everybody to share this in all the Telegram groups and everywhere else if you can. Like I said, this is going to be really important because we have methodically created a system, excuse me, to be able to help people to get to where they need to go with success. The system takes into consideration different aspects of teaching, different styles that people prefer of learning. It takes into consideration learning and memory and retention. It takes into consideration those things that have not been taught by attorneys to the public servants. It even takes into consideration the schooling of the average man and woman who would receive our notice in government and your regular everyday man or woman. So all of these things are important aspects of why and how we do what we do. And when people look at our documents, they don't understand necessarily, because we don't always come out and say it, they don't understand why we are doing things the way that we are. So a lot of times there is a judgment that comes, and then it becomes a situation where they attempt to change the documents. Usually those changes revolve around a certain type of thing, and is usually based on how people have been taught in history to communicate. Most people in history, in our living history, have been taught that in order to get a message across, you have to show a certain level of knowledge and understanding. You must use certain type of scholarly techniques. And the problem is that when it comes to real life and real law, that's not how our forefathers did it, and it is not the most effective way. Of course, there's not a picture. I was getting everything prepared. So, okay, guys, don't have a heart attack because there's no picture yet. The picture just popped up just now. I had to share with everybody to get it going. So please don't get frustrated about small things, guys. Don't fall out because you couldn't see me, right? You can hear my voice. So you know the video is working. So let's not trip. What I want to do, guys, is break this down, though, because as I said, there are people who are tripping out about the notices that we do. One thing that I want you guys to really understand is we've been doing these notices for years, and we've had a whole lot of success. And usually the people who want to change everything have not been doing it. What's up, P. Diddy? They have not been doing things for a long time, and they have not had a lot of success. So where I understand that people want to put in what they think is good, I want to say that we are no longer at the point where we are trying to figure out what is good. We are way past that point. And so what I want to do is break some things down to you guys, go over some fire, and understand exactly why we do what we do, and help you to see why it's important to stick to the program. Because when people have not been fighting for a long time, a lot of times you'll find that they are going to throw everything. You see in the street fight, you see guys punching like this, windmilling like quick as heck, right? They're throwing a whole bunch of windmills and they're hoping that something connects, right? Before they get hit, right? So they're not blocking, they're not moving, they're not strategic, they're not keeping their head on a swivel, on off axis, right? They're just going straight in and throwing everything they could possibly throw without any calculation, with no precision, hoping that they could win a fight. Devil dog. Now, we don't do things that way. It doesn't make sense to do things that way. We have prayed. We have asked God to show us the right way to do things. We have went through the process of doing notices and affidavits hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times all over the nation. We have seen much success, and I want to deal with this issue because some people are asking, why does the affidavits or notices say these things or those things, and couldn't we make it better by just saying this or saying that? I got a little piece of lint driving me crazy. So I want to deal with these things. So we're going to pray real quick. We're going to get going. Here, let's get ready. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for allowing us to be able to come on and go over these issues. Let me be able to explain well so that the people understand. Let us be able to stand up and knock down more corruption. We thank you for all you do, Father. You're an amazing God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, so let's get it. So number one of the issues that people have come with is the wording inside of the notices or affidavit. And when we are attempting to let the government officials see what it is that we need them to see, we have done certain things. For instance, in the affidavits, you'll see where it says sui juris, in this court of record, right? And then it would tell who we are. I am one of the people, as seen in the state constitution. Here, this is what my power is. Now, I say some things in the affidavits that a lot of times people think are stupid, right? And in the notices. So they'll say, why are you telling you're one of the people of the 50 states? Like these people don't know. Well, first of all, when you come to deal with notices and affidavits in the way that we do, you're coming to do it. What's up, Gerald? You're doing what we are doing, or you're coming to see us for a reason. And that reason is that you have heard of success with what we are doing, right? So when you come and you have not had success, right, or not at a large level, and then you come to us because you've heard that we had success, there is some thinking and planning that took part in us being able to have the success we have today. Guys, ignore my dirty fingernails. I've been working on the engine. So what's up, Nicole? So when we do our notices or affidavits, and you see where it says, for instance, as seen in the Constitution, I had some people come to me this week and let me know that there were people who were a little frustrated because they didn't like some of the words that were in the Constitution, or they thought, in my notices and affidavits, they thought they could make it better, right? Which is, I find this happening a lot. So, the issue is, David, why are you using seen in the Constitution rather than David, that was I'm referencing this from the Constitution, or David, I cited this. I've cited this from the Constitution. Well, first of all, what we have to understand is that most people in the nation who are average everyday people didn't graduate from college and didn't have to do papers where they had to decide between MLA or APA format. So if they didn't have to go to school to understand those formats, they are probably not using different terms when you're doing scientific type papers or research papers, or you're writing reports based on some standard format. So when you start using words that are not common to the everyday man, it is possible that you can lose the understanding that you're trying to give. So when we deal with notices and affidavits, I've had a couple of people from New York. One young lady worked for the government, and she really wanted to check me often about the not using enough statute or not speaking in a way that sounds like an attorney. So she wanted to correct me. The problem is that when you are using terms of law, right? And you are using the trust indenture called the Constitution, it starts to get silly when you start making the words very big or words that can be ambiguous or confusing, right? So when you are dealing with the average man or woman, they don't use the word cite or reference. They don't use that. So when we are teaching, one of the reasons we've been highly effective, and I tell you guys this, when these smart law people are teaching and I listen to them, I sometimes stop them and say, hey, can you break that down in third grader so I can understand what the freak you just said, right? Not being negative towards them, but really trying to understand, and the words they're using are too big for me. I can't understand it in my own words because they're using some word that's so far out beyond what it is that I use every day that I didn't catch it. So then they'll break it down to a lower level, just use regular words. And I'm like, oh, okay, I understand what that means. It means this, right? So if you are going to try to teach people, the reason for having a vast vocabulary for some people is to look smart, right? For other people, a vast vocabulary allows you to be able to talk to people on different levels. Now, if you look at what's called the bell curve in scientific studies, right? What you're going to find is 50% in the middle is going to be average. You're going to have extreme people on this side of the test and extreme people on this side of the test, right? And what's going to happen is most of the people are going to be closer to the middle. So when you use, a big word, there's going to be some extreme people off to the right who understand that word. There's going to be some extreme people off to the left who have no idea what the freak you're talking about. And the people in the middle may or may not understand what you're saying. So what happens is you start using these big words. You look very intelligent. You look very smart. People can point at you and say you're brilliant. But in the law world, it's been hard for the very brilliant people to be effective because most people don't understand what the freak they're saying. They speak words and people say, look at that person. They're so sharp. They understand grammar. They know this, they know that. Look at the words they use. They talk about these high-level concepts. The problem is you can look smart by yourself and continue to lose, or you maybe get a little victory by yourself. But you are not going to be highly effective with the majority of people because you are making the concepts too advanced for people to understand. So when people look and they say, well, how in the world Dave and Josh and Rosemary, right, and Deborah and Melly Mel, right, how are you guys getting thousands of people to do notices and affidavits around the country? The way we're able to do that is because we've not pushed to make ourselves look smart. We have pushed to make everybody aware. See, if your message is to make everybody aware and bring everybody on the same page, you're not trying to single yourself out as so knowledgeable by the words you use. See, you can hide behind big words. As a matter of fact, I knew a guy who was in real estate who used to have debates with a lot of people, and he used to destroy them. And here's why. It looked like he destroyed them. He used to say, when you're having a fight with somebody, use a big word that they don't understand and it'll freeze them. And then when you freeze them with that word they don't understand, go on and talk about stuff like you don't know it. And when they hear the word they don't understand, they will shut up. And this is how he would deceive people into believing that he won most of his arguments. Me, on the other hand, I don't use the big words. I want to use plain, easy words, easy things to understand so that everybody around gets it. I'm not trying to make people believe I know some words that's bigger than what everybody else knows. As a matter of fact, if you need me to use big words to think that I'm wise, I just say, don't listen to me, because I am not going to cheat the people in order to impress you with words, right? Now, I've been to school, excuse the fly, y'all, we're in farm area. In order to impress people, people use big words. And if you're looking for that, stupid fly, these flies are so gangster. These are the ones that usually jump on cows. So when you swing at them, they really get excited and want to keep coming. And I need my fly swatter so I can murk this dude. Maybe I can use this. This is my engine head gasket, the one I didn't use. This is a big thing. It needs some holes in it because it's going to be hard to swing. But if I see that dude, I'm going to light him up. So don't be alarmed. Now, when people want to make people think they're smart, right? They have to use big words to cover what they don't know. So you guys will see me go against some of the lawyers and stuff in the world, and they'll say a word and think that I don't know it. Then I'll turn around and break the word down, say what it means, and dare them to break it down into plain English, or I'll stop them. And I'll say, I don't know what the heck that word meant you just said. Can you speak in like third grader? I went to public schools. I don't know that junk, right? And what happens is they start struggling because they have to really explain in regular English to show if they know what this word means or not. And then it's hell to pay, because I can challenge them and make them see. He's gone now that I got this. Now watch, I'm gonna put this down. He's gonna come back and stream. So the thing is that these people play these games, and I don't play that game. I want people to really understand the truth. And I think that's why a lot of people don't understand the value of what I do, because they don't understand that I'm literally, see, he came back, he's jumping on my arm. They don't understand that I'm literally taking time out to really teach the people, spending hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of time just showing people, line upon line, precept upon precept, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little, right? So now people are to this point where they're at this high stage, but we didn't start there, right? So we understand things in context. So understanding that, people will come and they will look at my document and they'll say, oh, well, David, you don't use the word cited or reference. Now, guys, understand, if the average man does not use the word cite or reference, but they watch TV, and when you see something cool on TV or in the stores, it'll say, as seen on TV. The clapper. Turn the light on and off, right? So what happens is people get to the point where they're like, well, David, why are you using this? It sounds like you're not that smart. You're using this as seen in the Constitution, right? Well, there's two reasons I do that. And I'm sure people who want to be really smart may not understand this, but let's think about it. The regular man and woman does not understand the word cite or reference. You say the word cite, they might think visual, right? You write the word cite, they might be trying to figure out what you're talking about. So when you're dealing with the average man, I make it easy. I say, as seen in the Constitution. Why? Here's why. The government officials usually sign an oath to take care of those things which are in the United States Constitution and the state constitution. But because we all went to the same schools, they usually don't know what it means, what is in the state constitution. So when I quote something from the state constitution, right, if I take the words and say, this is what it said in the state constitution, they've never seen it before. So psychologically, if I'm going to tell them something, I can say, oh, this was cited in the state constitution. If they've never seen it before, does that give them a nudging to go look? If I say it's cited from, right? But if I say, as seen in the state constitution, Bill of Rights, this one, right? What happens is when I say as seen in, they're going to say, wait, I swore to that state constitution, I think. Oh, shucks, I didn't actually read it. Oh, shucks, he's saying something that was in the state constitution, and he's telling me as seen in. So in their mind, when you say as seen in, you open their mind up to acknowledge that you saw something there, which means now when you give them notice, it is their duty to go see if you're telling the truth. If you say, I'm referencing 42.12525, they might say, okay, well, this person is trying to do a reference of what they believe from the law, right? And maybe some other person believes something else, and then they fight each other. This is what happens in courts all the time. The word cite or reference does not necessarily strike the person for what you want them to do. But if you say as seen in, you're letting them know you saw it. You're letting them know that they should go look, right? It's a visual thing. So you are trying to get them to look at what their attorneys did not teach them. So I don't use those big words, cite, reference, anything like that. Anything in the scientific world, I try not to use, high level scientific world. Now, some people say, well, David, why are you saying this court of record? Why aren't you saying in a later court of record? Or why aren't you saying, I'm doing this in this status and standing in jurisdiction or whatever, right? So the people get frustrated because I say in this court of record, this court of record. Now, to understand why I do this when it's coming to jurisdiction, first off, when it says court of record, when you look at international law, Black's Law 5th edition, you'll find when you look up the word court, one of the definitions in international law says that the court is the person and the suit of the sovereign, right? And it's going to occur wherever he decides to hold court or to handle his business. Now, your credit card company will a lot of times send you some mail and change your terms because they have a contract with you, right? Now, your government servants, most people don't understand this, already have a contract with the people. So what you're doing is you're letting them know the terms, the terms of the contract and how they're affecting you and how you're going to deal with the issue, right? So people say, well, look, there's maritime admiralty law, right? You got all this equity stuff. You got all this, you got common law stuff. And people hear common law and lose understanding in what it is. They don't understand their rights usually. So when they hear court of record, they have no idea what, they have no idea as smart people that we have already learned that you as one of the people have the highest status, all political power. So then you are dictating to them the nature by which you're going to deal with each other. So when you say court of record, why would I use court of record? Because a court of record moves by the common law and not statutes or codes. Right? Now, some people will say, David, I don't get that, right? Oops, hold on. Right? So I'm gonna show y'all something. So what we're gonna do is we are going to look at, I need some more of these. We're gonna look at a few photos. If I can get them to pop up. And we're going to start with this one. So common law, right? What we got to understand is that the people, the legislature doesn't create common law. I already showed y'all that. Common law comes from the people. Now I'm going to prove it. Common right. Well, what is a common right? Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to fight what is wrong based on our rights as the people. Now, the people have equal rights, no matter what state you're in. So if I want to declare how we're going to do battle, I use this court of record because I'm holding court with you. This ain't your court of record for somebody else who's not in the middle of the situation. This is not the court of record that the government is controlling. This is me as the sovereign, right? The people who have the highest power, letting somebody else know what my rights are and the standards we are going to use to relate to each other. Now, right derivative from common law. So that's what a common right is. Common right is a right that is derivative from common law, where the legislature does not write common law. So that means it is a right that is derivative of the people. The people created it. So everything I'm showing you as the basis for my right to control the government is the fact that I have common rights that you swore to already in the Constitution, aka trust indenture. The Constitution is the trust indenture that tells you the rights that I have. You can't touch it. So when I say in this court of record, I'm telling you, I'm having a court case with you right now. I'm telling you what the freak my rights are. You need to deny that these are my rights or you agree. And the fact that I'm telling you that we're in a court of record, you not responding closes the case. When people see it later on, they're going to understand with simplicity, hey, he told him what his rights are. The government already swore to these rights in the bills and declarations of rights. There is no reason for this person to overrun his rights. And in your rights, you have the ability to be free and not restrained by any other man, including government. So when I show that we're in a court of record, I'm explaining that I'm moving by the common law, which is expressing my common rights. My common rights are in the bills and declarations of rights and in the state constitutions all over. Now, when I show what my rights are and you fail to explain that you have a power to take them from me, you're losing a court case. You're having a hearing. I'm coming to you one-on-one in the private, and you're failing to stand with a position that shows that you have a right to run me over. Therefore, the courts later on and government must accept what I'm saying as true. Now, not only am I teaching the government, but every notice that I'm doing, I'm teaching the people. So I'm making it really simple. I'm showing thousands of people that we're going to do it together. When we do it together, they quickly understand what everybody's rights are. When they understand what everybody's rights are, we have a better chance at changing the paradigm that exists between man and government. Now, watch this. So now we're going to look at the word natural. We're going to look at the maximum law about natural liberty so we understand this. Natural liberty, one of your constitutional protected rights are power over your liberty. Well, what is natural liberty? Natural liberty is the power of acting as one thinks fit without any restraint or control unless by the law of nature. See, government wants to call people sovereign citizens because they don't understand the basics of the law and how to trap government officials. So what I do is I use their maxims of law, which are universally accepted principles. I use the state constitution and I say, hey, dum-dum, did you swear that you would never interfere with my life, liberty, or property without due process of law, meaning the common law? And they will say, well, you don't get to tell what your rights are. And then I'll say, hold on, wait, let me show you that you swore to protect my liberty in the state constitution. And then 47H, you said, the fundamental principle is natural liberty is the power of acting as one thinks fit without the restraint or control, any restraint or control, unless by the law of nature. So unless you break the law of nature, harming somebody else or defrauding somebody else, nobody is to interfere or restrain or control you. Now, understanding that we're moving in a court of record, what has to happen is they need to come with some common law authority to run me over. But you can't, because I'm proving that I have natural liberty. So if I have natural liberty, And when you read in the state constitution that the people have power over their life, liberty, and property, I now am able to explain to you fundamental principles that nobody else has shown you. Now, some people will say, well, David, why do you feel like you have the right to show government what it is that they are to do? Right? And I understand that. And I realize that attorneys have intimidated people by using big words and terms. And what they do is they'll say, listen, David, you don't have the power or the right to tell the government anything. They're the government. And I'm like, really? See, using the process that I use, we have rights in the common law. Everybody has it in every state. They are common to all men. If a right is only given to certain persons, it is not a common right, because those rights given to certain persons are what is called legal rights. Legal rights are bestowed upon certain persons by the legislature and can be altered, abolished, or reformed at the will of the legislature. But those rights that are common law rights are common to all men. And therefore, the government has no authority to get rid of them, right? Only the people can direct what's going to happen. Now, let me help you understand how important this is and how far this goes. We're going to go to Arizona Constitution, right? Article 2, right? Section 1. And we're going to see, wait, so do the people have a right to tell government what to do? Well, when you go to court with a government official and you show the judge and a jury, right, what it is that the government is doing wrong based on the Constitution, they are to stand on the Constitution. So if I can hold court, if it's the person and the suit of the sovereign, and you can hold it wherever you wish, then when I give an affidavit in this court of record and tell that this is what it is, the court of record deals with the relationship between government and the people and how the government protects our rights and property. It is the fundamental reason for government existing, and I'm going to prove it. Watch this. So the attorney said, you don't have a right to teach the government. Well, let's see. This is what the government swore to. A frequent recurrence to fundamental principles is essential to the security of individual rights. See, the government wants to show you that you have collective rights and you get to let them vote over your rights collectively. First of all, they don't get to vote over your rights ever. Secondly, you have a right to teach them fundamental principles. Well, what's a fundamental principle? Could it be those fundamental maxims of the law like I just showed y'all that are universally accepted? They can't argue with a universally accepted law that's already established. Yes, this is a live chat, Ron. A frequent recurrence to fundamental principles is essential to the security of individual rights and perpetuity of free government. So if you want a free government, you have to bring them in the midst of the people to have a public case after you go to them one-on-one. So our notices and affidavits are not just to teach the government, but at the same time to teach the people. So if you believe that you need to change the words to make it more effective and use bigger words, what you're effectively doing is lessening the number of people that you're going to be able to effectually teach and change. Watch this. All political power is inherent in the people. So the people create the government so I can create the case. And governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed. We're not the governed. Those who work with them are the governed. But watch this. What are they established for? And are established to protect and maintain individual rights. I got individual rights that they need to protect and maintain. So when I use affidavits and notices, I understand something that's important. Number one, it is not about David looking smart. It is about the people understanding collectively as a whole their power and authority so that they could come back to a position of running their government effectively. So if I'm unselfish, I'm going to teach others how to control and regulate their government. The way that we do that is by giving them notices, which are frequent recurrence to fundamental principles. Now, a lot of people want to use a whole bunch of statute. They're like, oh, statute 24,24,7, David, you got to use this. Well, first of all, let me help. It said fundamental principles. Statutory systems can become highly sophisticated, change the words to mean something other than common language. So if I'm going to change the words from common language, I got to be careful because some statutes are unconstitutional. People will run to the statute to make a point, but the statute gives me no power, no authority, right? I'm declaring fundamental principles and constitutional precepts that are the trust indenture that they swore to abide in. So I want to make it simple. I want to effectively teach the broadest amount of people as quickly as possible. And I want to make sure that I don't do anything that would limit the people's ability to understand. This is how we have victory. This is how we win. Now, let's go a little bit deeper, because I hope this is making sense to you guys, but I want to break this down now and take it to a higher level. Oops. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. So we're going to look at 86M. Now, to prove why we use a court of record and the common law, I'm going to wait for a couple of seconds for this to pop up. Let me know if you can see it. We're going to need a couple of seconds. Okay, here we go. So 86M, no right is held more sacred or is more carefully guarded by the common law. See, we're using courts of record because it moves by the common law. And when we want to knock down what people are saying that is wrong, we stand in our highest position. Well, if the people wrote the common law, made the rights that are common to all men available in the 50 state constitutions, why would I use anything other than that? Why would I use anything other than the thing that gave us the greatest position or shows that we have the greatest position, greatest power? Right? Now watch this. 86M. No right is held more sacred or is more carefully guarded by the common law than the right of every individual to the possession and control of his own person, free from all restraint or interference of others, unless by clear or unquestionable authority of law. So that means in the Constitution, they need to have a grant of authority that's unquestionable that says they can interfere. Well, guess what, guys? That doesn't exist. Right? So I don't care if they try to say, well, statute 24,272 says they can lock down businesses and shut down stuff. I'm like, did it say the people? Oh, no. Okay, good. So there it is. I don't care about your vague statutes. We need to understand that you don't have the power in a common law to restrain me. It is impossible. Unless I go hurt somebody where you have proof and you have a sworn affidavit, somebody swearing under penalty of perjury that I hurt them, you ain't got nothing. Now, a lot of people don't understand the difference between the civil law and the power we have or rights that we have under the common law. So under the common law, we have the ability to associate with each other. That's guaranteed. Your grandparents, your children, those who deal with COVID programs who they don't want you to see. Well, let's look at this. Let's look at the top, 86J. The right of blood and kindred cannot be destroyed by any civil law. Guys, do y'all realize that legislative body members think that they're creating laws that can let a civil actor, as in a judge, in a legislative tribunal, separate you from your children and terminate your rights? Terminate your rights to your kids so they can block you from seeing your elderly relative in a COVID hospital? Right here, it says the right of blood and kindred cannot be destroyed by any civil law. There is no authority. So people get worried. They're like, oh, they won't let me make a decision over my mom in the hospital. They said that they're going to call Adult Protective Services and come after me if I keep trying to push. They don't have the authority, guys, under the common law to make a civil law to get rid of the right of blood and kindred. See, when the average person is trying to show how smart they are, I'm just using fundamental principles. That's all I'm using. Nothing extra special, nothing that show that Dave is extra smart. Now, let's look up constitutional right. A right guaranteed to the citizens by the Constitution, and so guaranteed as to prevent legislative interference therewith. A lot of people want to run around and say that there was a statute that allowed the government to take our power, right? Marissa Hamilton in Arizona says it all the time. The legislature gave away the right of the people to do this by giving it to somebody else. Marissa, stop. The legislature never had the authority to give away anything that was guaranteed in the Constitution. What are you talking about? But this is the problem. We got a lot of people, and God forbid, I'm sorry, God forgive me, but I'm going to have to get on Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon the other day was talking to Jeff, GA Patriot. And he said, oh, I don't need you teaching me about the Constitution in a video. And I'm like, you, okay, let me let me calm down. You clown. What do you mean? What do you mean when it said, or when you say, you don't need somebody to teach you the Constitution? Well, Mr. Bannon, first of all, if you don't need anybody to teach you the Constitution, and you said the like it's only one, that was, I believe that was a little attack on the credibility and the power of what GA Patriot was doing, which he's the first in history to do that way, to explain in front of Mike Lindell and the government in his state how the Constitution works on a broadcast that big. And or the state Constitution, I'm sorry, for Steve Bannon to talk like that. Oh, well, I don't need you teaching me the Constitution. Okay, slow down. Okay, let's take a breath. Like he needs to stop and educate people or they're below him. Steve Bannon has never come out and showed people constitutionally from the state constitutions or federal how to do anything. He did let Jenna Ellis come on and talk some stupid junk about how you can't do anything about what happened in 2020. But I notice every time this guy comes on and he talks about what's going on, he tries to downplay what the people are saying a little bit. So he says, I don't need you to teach me about the Constitution, and slow down, take a breath, or sir, why is this what you're doing different than anything else? First of all, because people have not come out and shown ever with constitutional principles how to knock down what happened in 2020 with the actual law, with crime vitiating everything and invalidated acts, right? So he's never taught anybody these things. And if he does know, then he should have taught. But from what I've seen, Bannon has never taught that. So, maybe he has a good show or not. I know he's real cool with Clements, but it's really strange how he tried to discount or discredit without even reading what it said, what it was that GA Patriot had to say. And I told people this before. I noticed that he gets that pen in his left hand and he starts lifting it up and he starts trying to play devil's teammate, attacking what someone is saying when it comes to really knocking down what happened in 2020. That's all I'm going to say about that. So Bannon needs to kind of pump his brakes. And if he ever wants to debate me on it, he can get with Josh Barnett. I'll be happy. He can bring Jenna Ellis and every other attorney in the world. I'll be happy to bring that smoke to Bannon for saying that dumb junk. So it is what it is. Now, what we got to understand, though, is that when we have a constitutional right, it clearly says here that you are not able to interfere with it. Also, somebody asked about the difference between citizens and people. Understand that citizen is a word, and it could be a capital C citizen or a little c citizen, which could be different too. But citizen simply deals with your position as one of the people in a state, right? So citizenship means that you're just a member of a political body. Being one of the people is your position as one having all power. A citizen may or may not have all power, right? I'm sorry, they may or may not have certain powers, but one of the people completely has all power over a political body, and you are the trust protectors, right? So when we understand that, it tells us that a right guaranteed to the citizen by the Constitution, and so guaranteed as to prevent legislative interference therewith. So any rights that are in the Constitution are 100% guaranteed. They are not to be second guessed or interfered with. So once again, if the legislature can't write common law and anything they write is statutory outside of common law, then when I'm holding a court of record, I'm keeping my action. Yeah, he does keep a lot of dang rhinos on his show, you know. It's kind of hilarious, right? But well, it doesn't have to say people, Ryerson, because what you have to understand is in the Constitution, what's happening is that people are creating a political body. The political body has citizens individually as members of that body. So when you are referring to those in the Constitution, you're using a lot of times word person to deal with that one who has a status that allows them to be upheld as a member of the civil family. People could mean anybody from any state. It does not mean a person from this state, right? It doesn't mean a person part of the civil body. Let me help you understand. If I say a right guaranteed to the people by the Constitution is so guaranteed as to prevent legislative interference therewith, let me help you understand why it has to say citizen. So let's say if I say, okay, one of the people of America have the right to come together and consult for the common good and change the Constitution. Okay. The people of America have that right. But what if I bring in one of the people from Russia? Does the people from Russia have the right to come to America and change our Constitution? See, you understand that it doesn't have to be. Somebody get rid of that Winters Dickerson person with this dumb attempt to hack our remove, hide user from this channel, and then remove. Okay, so what we got to understand is we can't do that, right? We can't just say the people, because the power to deal with the government has to do with being a citizen of the civil family or the people who are part of a civil family, right? Or who their person is part of a civil family. The people act as trust protectors. The people have a right to change the government at will, but it doesn't say the citizen has the power to change the government at will. So you have to be very careful with the words, but in some instances, the words are there on purpose, where citizen is not always a bad word. You might be a citizen of a certain state and it allows you to get a library card. That's just a right of membership, right? Because each state is a political association. So some people in the law world say, never use the word citizen, never use the word this or that. What happens is people get to the point that they learn these things and don't understand what it really means. So they become dogmatic and allow people to steal words that belong to us. So let's see what Ryerson said. So do foreign people get constitutional rights like they are independent? No, what happens is they have what's called the law of nature, the law of God, right? So the law of nature says don't hurt somebody else, right? Even your neighbor, you're not supposed to hurt them. So if somebody comes over as a neighbor, you don't hurt them, you don't steal from them. Now you've never affected the law of nature, so nobody gets jurisdiction from you. But if somebody from Russia comes to America and I steal his car, he has the right to get his car back. He has a right to defend himself. But does he have a right to change our nation? No. You see? So this is another thing that we have to understand. Constitutional rights are not to be interfered with, right? Yep, that's right. You know, people get scared to use certain words or whatever, like they won't say children anymore because they're like, children belongs to the government. No, children does not belong to the government. The whole government belongs to you. They trick you, and some law people trick you into believing that if you say the word children, the government magically gets jurisdiction. No, you have children that God gave you based on the Bible, right? Once God gave you, though, let's say, I think it's Psalm 127:3. God gave you those children as an inheritance. Nowhere in the state constitution did you give government authority to be able to call your children the word children, and now they get the power to take them away from you. It never, ever, ever, ever happened. And this is some of the tricks that government officials like to keep us caught up in. Now let's look at the term common law action. Common law action, action governed by common law rather than statutory, equitable, or civil law. Now, y'all know that we don't want the government claiming they're doing equity cases. Y'all know we don't want the government claiming they got a statutory power. Y'all know we don't want them saying, oh, well, this is a civil law process where we could do this to you. So why would you write this court of record? Because when you're doing your action, you want it to be dealt with based on the duty of the government official to protect your rights and property. That's what a court of record is going to make them have to do. Because when I show you from the common law or my common rights or the bills and declarations of rights, what your duties are and what my powers are, what's going to happen is no statute you use can take that away. No equity garbage they use can take that away. So what happens is they end up in a situation where they have to deal with the rules of engagement based on what we have said. Now, that's why we use in this court of record. Dave, when you get a chance, can you make sure my earlier comment makes sense? Which one is that? Say it again for me. So this is what I want you guys to understand. You know, a lot of people get frustrated because they want our notices and our affidavits to be up to par with what they think based on their highly educated systems of thinking, which make you lose, right? The attorneys and government officials have been lying to us for years, and we know it now. So why would I base everything I do off of what the government wants me to do and how they want me to do it? So I'm not trying to stand in the wrong status. Guys, notice most people in the world, including Marissa Hamilton, right? A lot of these other people who are trying to teach you, they immediately take you to some statute and say, well, the statute says they can't do this or can do this or blah, 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 blah. Well, it doesn't matter what you say, the statute says, right? If you don't have an authority in the common law to do something, it does not matter what you want to say. The statutory law says. It doesn't matter what you can say you can do in equity if we never granted you that authority under the Constitution. So I don't have to worry about all of this stuff that they're talking about. I base my teaching, right, off of the common law, what the people created as rights for everybody. And then, my bad, Ryerson, well, if it's a lot to type, I definitely ain't gonna go back and look for it. So it is what it is, right? I say that in love, but it is what it is. So this is what we got to look at, guys. We want to use our highest authority, highest power. We don't want to lower ourselves to try to show that we're smart and we can play in their playground of attorney lies and jurisdiction webs and all this bull crap. We just simply challenge it. Hey, we're in the Constitution to say you could do that. Oh, you can't show me? Okay, so you just made that up, right? Oh, okay, cool, right? That saves you a lot of time. When we put this court of record in our documents, it is what it is. Yes, Melly Mel is right. When you're a citizen, you're a member of the club, you can affect government, but government can't override anybody's natural God-given rights, no matter if they're a citizen or not. That's right. See, a lot of people try to make you feel stupid by saying, well, look, you can't be the people and a citizen. Well, a citizen is one of the people, right? A citizen is one of the people looked at in their political status, right? Boom. The people have a person that act as a member of a community or a nation, right? But the people can also be independent and remove themselves from working together in that voluntary membership. So I wanted you guys to be able to see all this stuff. A lot of people have been talking, and saying what they don't like. Cool, Ryerson. A lot of people have been talking, and they got an issue where they wish to change things that are already working. I just say it like this: if you're so smart that you understand how to do notices on your own and affidavits on your own, I just say, if you are smarter, just make your own notices and affidavits. But to think that you have to change everything or contest everything you see because you can make it better, it would have been just easier for you to make your own, and we wouldn't have to have a discussion about why it shouldn't be changed, right? Now I know there's a lot of people that are smarter than me, but if you are, that's fine. God gave you gifts. Just make your own notices. It ain't that big of a deal. But we're very precise in what we do, and we do things with reasons. We've explained that to a ton of people, but it is what it is. So anyway, I want to thank all you guys for coming on today. Let's make things simple. Let's make things easy. Let's stand in our highest status. Let's make things plain, because not only are we teaching government, we're teaching the thousands of other people that have been affected. You look at, what G.A. Patriot did. You look at Brandon Spencer has done, and some of these other powerful fighters in Georgia. They have come together and they have busted butt by doing the things that work. Now you can do a whole lot of other things, but the truth is, guys, the trolls that you see coming on here, and most of the people you see coming trying to change stuff, they're coming here because they understand that you guys have the most remedy in America. There's nobody else like y'all. So, for people like Melly Mel, Brandon, Deborah, Rosemary, Denise, G.A. Patriot, there's tons of others. You guys have taken, high level education and focused on keeping things in simplicity, so you guys understand things in a way that's at a higher level, And once again, this is the difference between somebody who invests in their education and somebody who plays with their education. You play with education and you start trying to fix things and change things based on your old realm of belief and knowledge that may have not served you. For us, we really do the studies, we really do the test, we really do the notices and affidavits that have made effect, brought forth change all around the nation. There's you can't argue with it. So if we have been able to show that there's powers and authorities that we have all across the nation that have been hidden from us, and we change things in simplicity, then there's something that we're doing that works. And people are only coming to you guys because they have heard about how things work. And so don't be swayed by people who come who are super smart, who think that what you're doing is dumb. If the average man thinks that what you're doing is dumb, it's probably very smart. So when they think it's dumb, say, yes, I got the right thing, because most people are not having the remedy that you guys are having. And so they're going to come and judge you by the things they do that have never worked. right? You're going to hear a lot of people say, we got to do, before we send out any notices or affidavits, we got to change our status. Well, y'all seen we do notice and affidavits without changing our status, and it works completely well. Some people will say you got to do a big document to change your status. Y'all seen where we've shown what our status was in a 1-2 page document. Done. People say, well, you can't stand on your rights because the government tells you what to do. Well, we've proved to y'all that that's not true. So a lot of people are going to come and say things that are not the law. And what we got to do is stand on the law, have enough heart to not get caught up in peer pressure, have enough wisdom to tell people, hey, if you know what you're doing so much and you're a butt kicker at it, just go ahead and knock it out or whatever. I ain't going to interfere with you. But the truth is, once again, they are coming to you because you are the best, right? We don't go to the people who don't teach well to gain knowledge and understanding. And as soon as you get to the point where you understand more than the teachers in law that are available now, you don't go back to study from people who don't know. So guys, understand what you are. God has blessed you guys to do some very powerful things, and that's why people are coming to you. So don't be stressed out or get swayed by things that we have done over and over again that works all over. And they, wish to pull you over into their level of high thinking and smarts and all this stuff. We don't use that junk. We don't need it. And we have continued to have victory all over the nation. So it is what it is, we don't just give away notices and affidavits, but the first thing we do, Kent, is get you to look in your state constitution to know what's there. So you understand what your rights are. Yeah, and all the state national talk, you might find somewhere in the statute where it says state national. From what I've seen, is very vague, right? So can you be a national? Yes. But when I am fighting against government actors and they swear to protect the rights of the people, I don't want to use the word state national in my own mind. I want to use the word that's in the trust indenture called the people. That's why when I have a fight with attorneys and y'all watch it live, I ask them, am I one of the people? And they want to argue, you're a citizen. You're a citizen. Am I one of the people, sir? Yes or no? They sound so dumb trying to tell you that you're not one of the people. Is hilarious, right? And so this shows you guys what they can't argue against. If they could argue against me saying I'm one of the people, they would just do it. But they can't allow for me to be one of the people in front of everybody because I'm going to railroad them with the simple stuff that the law says. So then when they want to fight, I beg them, come on in front of everybody and just tell me, am I one of the people? Am I just one of the people? Yeah, I already got that smoke. Am I just one of the people? Am I just one of the people? Yes or no? Am I just one of the people? And you don't let them get off of it. And what's happening is, at the same time you're asking them that, the regular people go and look and say, wait, this dude don't even want to say he's one of the people. What the freaky think he is, an alien? This is how you deal with these people. Don't let them play, right? Don't let them play with what you do or what you say. Don't let them get away. Don't give them an inch. Make them prove what the freak they say. We can prove what we say. Make them prove what they say, and they're not going to be able to do it. Oh, it's cute. I see we got some trolls. This is amazing. They love watching us too, y'all. And this is even another testimony, y'all. The trolls come and got a lot of stuff to say. Why? Because they know we got the truth over here, right? They've been planning for days. They're like, man, why this dude Dave didn't come on live in all these days? We've been preparing and getting paid and waiting for him to say something so we could have something to say. But now he got too many people as admins and they're blocking everything we say before we could even get it on the screen. Woo, hilarious. That's what happened, guys. You go against losers. Be prepared, right? They say I'm born for water, so I'm in the water. Yeah, it's dumb junk, Well, you're in Admiralty law because your mom had water in her canal. What? Sound freaking crazy. That sounds utterly Dumb. Plus, God said we have power over the things in the air, right? The creeping, crawling things on the earth and the things in the water. So I'm not swayed by, oh, well, because man is born of water. That sounds like the Vatican said some dumb junk like that. Trying to find a way to rule over you. I'm like, look, if the Pope don't come to my hood and tell me he's ruling over me and I'm his slave, any claim he make from Rome is a joke, right? And I don't think even the Pope is gangster enough to come over to America and be like, boy, you better do what I say. So guys, quit letting these people tell you what power they have because of some hocus pocus magic trick. Get over that, John, you know? But anyway, I wanted to go ahead. Oh my gosh, a ship at dry dock. I still don't understand what the freak they're talking about is. They got us trapped on the ocean. They got us trapped over there in the West Coast with all those ships that they won't let come in, and, you know, as a ship in dry dock over the coast of Cali. Well, they took the statute and adjusted it 500 miles to the east, putting your residence in the water. Bruh, stop this junk. Like, I thought I murked him, y'all. I hit him a little bit earlier. But that's the thing they try to do. They you know, they play these games. Oh, they hold on. Let's see how they did this. I don't have a measuring tape near me. They put you on a scale and shifted the scale 50 degrees over, trampling the rights of your person and trafficking you into the ocean realm. Can you show me anywhere where that's written, cuz? Hey, not cuz, you got to call him cuz, C-U-H. Can you show me anywhere where that's written, cuz? Well, my teacher's teacher can do it better. So why you bring that junk up, cuz? Right? Why did you bring that junk up? See, guys, it's sad, but it's almost like some of the people in the law world, some of them might be saying it for stupid reasons because they don't know. But at the same time, some of the other people are purposely saying this junk to get us from knowing exactly what to do to stand on our rights and understanding that as the people, we created all this junk. The United States is a freaking corporation. And in order to be free, you got to find yourself out of the maze called the corporation. And you got to stand on the magic watermelon and click your heels 3 times. You got some people in the law world literally like this. You got to go and watch the movie in Matrix and look when Lawrence Fishburne tells, when Orpheus tells the other dude, whatever, Neo, pick the blue pill or the red pill. And then you can find your way in this law world. Oh, no, no, no. Dorothy, you got to look at Dorothy down the yellow brick road. That's the real story of Banks and Tin Man and Tinfoil Hat. And this way we can find out how to get out of this trap. Bruh. The government was trying to tell you based on Roosevelt and this other guy and Mandel House that you know, they were trying to enslave us and entrap us. I'm like, where's that written at, dude? Do you have the real document? Well, I believe it was true. Like, yo, homie, you believed a lot of those quotes in those court cases were true too. And then you post them and I go look at them dang court cases and I can't find nothing you said in there. Oh, well, that was a paraphrase. Why the frick you paraphrasing stuff with quotes though? Like they said that junk, right? So what's happening, guys, is a lot of people, and it might be CIA too, a lot of people have been teaching us stuff that you know, if you want to understand this, you definitely got to watch The Matrix. The Matrix got it all. No, man, this junk is super simple. Our forefathers made this junk when Matrix didn't exist. There was no Yellow Brick Road, TV, or Dorothy when our forefathers wrote these constitutions. What about we just go back to what our forefathers wrote, right? And when they say something like, well, we dragged you off the edge of the nation with some yellow brick road on a spaceship. You get it? Ship. And matter of fact, we really gonna make fun of you because we're gonna make a building in Florida that looks like a ship. Then we're gonna get all the teachers to tell you they're hitting you with admiralty law because it looks like a ship. What about the Constitution says what we have the power to do and what they don't have the power to do. Can we just use that? I don't want to talk about no ship. I don't want to talk about space aliens. I don't want to talk about how we got to watch Dorothy and all this crazy talk, because God made it simple. Our forefathers went back to what God said, and we can stand in our power, we can stand in our rights, and we don't even have to look stupid. I don't even have to write like this. Colon, common law, precept, right? Caveman. I don't have to write dumb or like I'm a caveman to tell government what to do. As a matter of fact, I look crazy and dumb when I write to the government and talk to them in caveman talk, right? That junk is dumb, right? Okay. It might be different. It might make you feel like, oh, I'm part of a crew, but that junk look dumb, right? So no, I'm not going to write dumb. I'm not going to freaking go follow people who tell me, if you really got to learn the law, you got to go watch Dorothy Clicker Hills. Man, look, dude, I'm old as a mother. I ain't got time to be watching Dorothy freaking crip walking. Dorothy out there crip walking, right? Don't, right? Guys, it's really some distractions. And this is why we are winning like crazy. This is why we're having all this victory. This is why God has shown us how to take things to the next level, and why we have had so many people move forward powerfully. So let's not get it twisted, y'all. Let's not let them tell us that they created something that could take our power away from us. In order for them to do that, we would have to give them authority and grant it in there. Hey, you got the power to enslave us. Can you be our king? Nah, cuz. We didn't pick a king. This is why they keep trying to push you to this English common law idea, because American common law and English common law are different. We threw off a king over here. We like, dude, we ain't working with you. Get the freak out of here, dude. Right? Freak out of here. Right? So we didn't ask for a king. We didn't want a king. We thought those kings were whack. Right? They want to send you over to some English common law, so you think the concepts that the king could do, they could do. So they want to act as the servants and the king. Don't allow that junk, y'all. Be smarter than that, D-A-T. Be smarter than that. Be more wise, right? Brandon said you have no rights if you can't crip walk. For real, man. These people, I trust Dr. Dre more than Dr. Fauci. Now that's real, though. Hey, Fauci will lace you with some AIDS weed. Dr. Dre will give you a pound of weed, but Fauci will lace you with some AIDS weed. You get the weed, then you end up with AIDS, and he'd be selling you the potion to get rid of the AIDS. I'm at Bentley baseball game, but listening a little, LOL. Josh out there laughing out loud, big as heck. They see this big swole dude with traps up the hair just cracking up laughing in the middle of a baseball game. It's like, what the heck is going on with this dude? I need my glass pipe, make some art, and sell it for 50K a pop. There you go. Hey, Belly Bell, if you get 50K a pop, though, and you make a couple of billion, can you give me a twin turbo Lambo so I don't feel guilty, please? But anyway, I wanted to go ahead and drop that off to y'all. Have you seen the treatment the Australia government ushering people? Well, I haven't, but after they took, stopped them from having guns, I wouldn't be surprised. I'll be at CPAC next week. What's CPAC, Josh? Josh always got to break down these high level government things. Okay. So hopefully this all made sense to y'all. I just wanted to get this out here to y'all so y'all can understand. We write this court of record for a reason. We use the word saw in the Constitution, or as seen in the Constitution, because we want people to go see what's in the Constitution. We want to use simple words so the other people who are learning from us, as we write out what it is that we are teaching, they can also gain knowledge and understanding so that they could be effective. So that is the goal for us, guys. We want to protect the people, teach the people, help them to be effective. And you don't do that by trying to make yourself look smart. So guys, I'll tell you all the time, I'm a dumb Negro from the ghetto. And the thing is that we have done more with stuff that is simple than trying to look like we're brilliant. Trump does the State of the Union address. Oh, gotcha. So what the heck's Knighton gonna do? But anyway, guys, I want to go ahead and let you guys have this video. I wish you guys well. I was going to be doing some car work and hopefully put my engine in, but I can't because I found out I had a bent push rod, at least one. So I'm going to have to try to figure that situation out or find out if there's another car company or a later engine that holds my push rods. Then I'm going to have to go hunt for a freaking truck to yank the freaking push rods out of so that I can get busy. But it is what it is. So like I said, I wish you guys well. I hope you guys have joy today. I hope you guys have peace. I got some other videos I have to do for some private things, and I have to add and upload some videos that I've done to get things moving. So I wish you guys well. I hope you guys have a good time. Today we've been able to laugh a little bit, have a little bit of fun. You guys have really been amazing. I want to give you guys praise. You guys are the best of the best. Dave, what do you think we should do about the young leftists? I don't even know what that is, the young leftists. I don't worry too much about anybody else. I just know that we got the best in the nation and they're going to change stuff. Like, I really sleep easier because of all these people you see posting, getting out there and kicking butt and doing all the hard work. You know, you guys have taken over the nation and done powerful things that other people have never even dreamed of doing. And so I feel good. I need to hit up Pull Apart. I just want to thank you guys because y'all are special. Y'all are powerful. I couldn't do what I do without you guys. God has blessed me with very amazing people. Brandon Spencer up at night helping me find stuff for notices. Josh, crazy as heck. Always going out and finding new things to attack. Like, Josh understands the political world. I don't understand the political world, like the functioning. I understand the law part of it, but the functioning part and how people get down in meetings and all that stuff. Josh is very good with that, and he has opened the door for everything I've seen in this fight. I'll give an example. The idea of turning things to PMAs, I had the idea. I helped Josh do his because I love Josh. I ain't know nothing about all these other people in the world, didn't have access to them. Josh brought most of them to change them into private associations. When it came to the audit, Josh brought me to the meeting to have a conversation to set up the stuff to fight. That was Josh. When it came to the organization of the audit, Karen Fan used We the People AZ Alliance as help on staffing and setting up and scheduling the audit. Josh introduced We the People AZ Alliance to Karen Fan. They were Josh's old campaign managers. When it came to fighting a lot of the stuff that's going on across the nation that is wrong, is been Josh. You know, Josh is like, Dave, they're doing this, and I don't watch the news like that. I don't know a lot of the things that Josh knows, so it's usually him that is bringing forth all the information for what we're going to do in a fight. And so I want to say, let's continue to support Josh. If you can give, let's give. Y'all know I don't take donations from people or anything like that, but y'all can definitely give to Josh. Anything you want to do for me, please do for Josh, because he's the political fighter that's standing up and putting a lot of this stuff together. You know, it's crazy to me. I talked about Bannon earlier. Bannon has had Josh's ex-campaign people on. He's had Candace on, I believe, and other people. But Josh is the one who pushed the audit in Arizona, and people have verified that in government. The government actors have said, yeah, that dude, right? You know, Josh has brought together so much, and I think that it's the people love Josh and understand what he's done, but a lot of the people who have shows and all this stuff, I think they really know who the freak Josh is, and they're trying to keep Josh off of the shows, some of the bigger ones, because Josh is really somebody who will destroy the deep state for real, right? There's a lot of people who make promises of what they're going to do when they're in office. Josh is one of those dudes who have helped people while he's not even in office. He's walking the walk and living the battle out right now, every single freaking day. So I want to say, if it is your will, please give to Josh. Please look out for him. If it's $5, $10, $100, $1,000, $2,500, $5,000, whatever, please give to him to help him be able to battle and fight when it comes to the things in the world that government officials are not carrying out. I do want to do some wheelies, Modern Hunter. We want things carried out, and we need people who understand the truth in there who will serve. So please, if you can, give to Josh. Josh, don't be greedy. Don't be one of those people who say, well, I'll give to him because I feel like I have to, but this is evil. We don't want those gifts, right? If you don't want to support him, don't. But if you want to make sure your nation is secure and you give people a chance to go and fight for us, please look out, right? It's a good thing to be able to give, and it's a good thing to be able to support those who are actually taking action. If we see him get up all the time and do videos and try to help everybody to learn and come to the webinars and, try to push you guys to see what the law says and to do what's right while he's fighting for you into the political realm too, let's show love, y'all. That's all I'm saying. And those of you who are real, y'all know how to take care of business. For those of y'all who hate or fake, you ain't gonna get it anyway, so I ain't got to talk no more. Dave, go to Rock Auto Online. You may get a set of rods and lifter sheet. My rods are good. Lifter should be good. It's the push rods. Oh, when you saying the push rods. Terry, you're so brilliant. You know everything when it comes to cars. Like, you're a freaking beast, But let's well, how fast do they come though? Like, I really want the parts today so I could finish the car. The maximum to contribute, I think, is like 5,000, and it could be 2,500 in this part of the session and 2,500 in primary. So if you gave the full amount, they can split it up and use part of it now and the rest later. But if you got businesses or some of y'all who, who are wealthy in this world's goods, please look out. Josh ain't allowing anybody to give him anything as dirty government officials or bad guys. He ain't taking no money from no clowns, right? So I think if Josh would have sold us out a long time ago, I think he would have millions of dollars, right? As much as he knows how to do, I think that if they saw the skills that Josh has and they could pay him off, he would have whatever. But, it's really bad because they leave him out because he's a good guy. So anyway, with that being said, if the Lord wills, I'm going to try to get Josh's link from him to be able to give. And I'll try to put it in the description of this video. If you don't know it already or you don't know how to give, please come back and give. I'll try to have it up within the hour. But come on, y'all. Let's do some good stuff for Josh today. If it's $5, $10, whatever, it is what it is, But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Thank you guys so much for coming on this video. I love y'all. Y'all stay out of trouble. Be cool. And I'm going to say peace. We're going to stop